Welcome everybody to Easy Passover Cooking. Next week, we will all be sitting around our tables in our own homes asking the question, why is this night different than all other nights? And we ask this question every year. And typically, this question refers to why are we eating the matzah instead of our challah? Or why are we eating shredded horseradish root as an appetizer instead of creamy hummus? Why are we dipping our vegetables in salt water instead of delicious homemade dressings? So these are the questions we typically ask, and we usually know the answers. We know that we're eating matzah because we remember the incredible faith that our ancestors had when they left Egypt so many years ago. They left with just the dough on their backs within 12 hours notice straight into a wilderness because they had complete and utter faith in Hashem and God. And we remember that faith every year when we eat our matzah, which is also called bread of faith. We eat the maror because we remember the affliction, the bitterness of the slavery of the Jewish people. And we remember how bravely the Jewish people overcame their difficulties. And when we eat their maror, we also sweeten it with charoset, because we know that no matter what the Jewish people have been through year after year, we have the secret ingredients of hope. And we understand that Hashem always helps us despite the difficulties. So yes, we ask these questions every year and we answer them. And we renew our commitment every single year with the Passover story. This year we might be asking another question. We might be asking, why am I sitting home by myself having a Seder? Why isn't my grandmother here? My mother, my father, my children? Why is everybody who lives in their own home celebrating in their own homes? Why aren't we all coming together? And of course we all know the answer to that. We all understand the safety precautions that all of us are taking to have a happy and healthy Pesach this year. And in Mirz Hashem, we'll have many, many, many more happy, wonderful Pesachs, Passovers to come. And now what I want to do is, in order for us to give a little bit of specialness to our holiday, let's try and think of some lovely things that we could cook up for ourselves or share with others. And so I want to show you some easy Passover recipes, because sometimes when we're going through a challenge, if you have something nice in the kitchen to enjoy, it just makes it a little bit more pleasant for all of us. And it's also something that you could bring to somebody, drop off at their home before the Seder, so that they might have something nice to enjoy. So let's start here with some easy dips. One thing that I love to do, I've been making this for a very long time, is I've been making a mango relish. And what I do is I chop up mango and a little bit of red pepper. You could also chop tomatoes as well. And I mix all of them together in a bowl, like this. Some peppers. You see how easy that is. Mix them all together. You can add a little bit of oil. Use some olive oil. Use some other Passover oil, just a little bit, just to bind it together. A little bit of salt, just enough to taste. And a little lemon juice, a little squirt of lemon. And we mix it all together. And it's a really wonderful salad. It's really easy, it's really tasty. There's a nice sweetness with the mango, and it goes so nicely with the red pepper. And as you can see, I paired it with some salmon. And it also goes very, very well with gefilte fish. So speaking of gefilte fish, I'm going to show you another really easy recipe for gefilte fish. So you start off with frozen loaf of gefilte fish. You can find it in the freezer section of, the kosher section in the store that sells kosher food. And you let it thaw for a couple of minutes. Then you unwrap the paper and the plastic, everything, and you put it in a loaf pan. And I've lined my loaf pan with parchment paper because I finds it makes all my cooking easier and cooks really evenly and really nicely. And it's non-stick, and you don't need any kind of oil at the bottom. And then what we do is we have a little treat, honey, a little bit on our gefilte fish, just a little bit. And if you are trying to keep away from sweeteners, you could omit the honey, but it's a really nice touch. And then after that, we put on our golden onions right here, right like this, put it right across the top, just like this. And over here you have your frozen gefilte fish loaf with a little bit of honey and a little bit of sauteed golden onions. And then you put it in the oven, you bake it for about an hour and a half uncovered, and you have a delicious gefilte fish treat for your Passover table. And that goes along, you can eat it with your relish, and I'm going to give you a couple other dips as well. So what we have here is very simple guacamole, and I keep it as simple as possible. Like I said, it's easy Passover cooking. So you take your avocado, you got your pit, you scoop out the avocado flesh, you put it in your bowl, you mash it up, and you can also use a food processor if you have one. And then you add a little bit of lemon juice and a little bit of olive oil and salt, a little bit to taste. And there you have it. This is a great dip. It goes with fish. You have it with your matzah. It's really wonderful. It's fresh, it's colorful. And then finally, I'm going to show you shredded cabbage. How easy is that? Let's take a piece of fresh cabbage, you slice it, you put it in a bowl, and then the same thing. You add a little bit of salt, you add a little bit of lemon, a little bit of olive oil, and there you have it. You have delicious, fresh, shredded red cabbage salad. It's very easy to do the whole thing by hand, and it goes well with fish, it goes well with your salmon, with your matzah. You can also have it with meat or with chicken. It goes great with anything, and it's so healthy and delicious. And finally, I will turn your attention over to our chicken soup. Chicken soup is always a favorite. It's always easy. It's always in style. We have it every single Shabbos, and we will also still have it on Passover. So even though Passover seems different than all the other nights, but there's a lot of things that we can still utilize, and we know how to do them the whole year, and we certainly know how to do them on Passover. And it makes it a little bit easier, because sometimes we might find it out. So it's really great when you can pull out recipes that you do a whole year. That way you're really good at it. You know, count on your delicious chicken soup, and it's always something very, very welcome for your Seder table and throughout the whole Passover. And with that, I wanted to wish you all a very, very happy and healthy Passover. And remember, Passover is the festival of freedom, and freedom first starts within inside of you, within each and every one of us. And so right now, we may not feel as much freedom as we typically have in regards to going out of our homes or our daily activities that we've always been accustomed to. But there's a lot of things within ourselves that perhaps we have time now to explore, to be able to study Torah, to be able to spend extra time teaching Torah to our family, where we're with them at the Seder table, when we're with them even on a nightly basis. There are a lot of freedoms that we actually are able to find now, and the freedom to develop ourselves and to look. And I'm encouraging you to find the blessings that you have, and it might take a little bit of time. Sometimes we really have to think deeply about it, but when we do, then the message of Passover really is being accomplished. So when we sit down by our Seder tables, remember to really focus on the message of Passover, which is inner freedom. Remember, when the Jewish people left Egypt so many years ago, really, at the point when they left, in a way, they were already free. Pharaoh was already, being plagued by the famous 10 plagues. The Egyptians as well, they were all suffering. And yet the Jewish people still felt fear. They were afraid of the Egyptians. And we know when the Jewish people brought the Passover offering, God actually said that they needed to do it in public, in order to show the Egyptians that they're following the will of Hashem and that they're no longer slaves to the Egyptians. And the reason why they had to make the Passover offering in public was in order for themselves to feel free first within themselves. And that message really is timeless, because a lot of times within our own lives, there might be things that are holding us back from doing the things that we love, that we want to do, from spending more time, whether it's studying Torah, doing mitzvot, giving tzedakah, all the things that we would like to do. Sometimes we feel that very challenged. We feel overwhelmed by everything else in life. And Passover is a time for us to truly be free. And Hashem is telling us you have that ability. And every year on Passover is a new beginning for each and every one of us. So Amir Hashem, everyone should have a wonderful Passover, a new beginning, and it should usher in true freedom, inner freedom, and of course, the freedom that we're accustomed to every day of the year. So let us hold on to what we do have now, hold it tight, hold it precious. And of course, remember to make delicious Passover food for yourself and for your families. You should be happy and healthy. Have a wonderful Passover and a good Shabbos.